we're reviewing the USPC Horse Management Requirement Equipment Check and Rally Kit. And everyone has their Section 6 appendices, which is what the rally HM judge will have, and come to each team and ask the riders to pull the equipment out to check off the list. So we're going to start first with the human first aid kit. And we have somebody in our club that is very organized, and she has labeled everything for us. And first aid kit. And you can see on your list that per team you need one of these kits. And required in the kit, you have to check the expiration dates to make sure that everything is not expired, because they are put in there from the previous years. So there is an extra medical armband that's blank in case you guys forget your bracelets that everyone's using now, or if you don't have a bracelet, you can use one of these and just make sure you fill it out with the correct information. Then it says that there's supposed to be adhesive bandages, and you can see there's a box there, and triple antibiotic ointment, and you can use Neosporin or a store brand. And then 3 pairs of synthetic protective gloves, and we usually put those in a bag with a label on it. And then sunscreen, there has to be at least a half a bottle, and bug spray at least half a bottle, and those are for the bug sprays for humans, not for your pony. That's a different kit. And so that is your first aid kit. Sometimes we do carry extra items in there that we thought would be useful, like hand sanitizer at a rally. Extras are allowed, but you just want to make sure that you don't confuse what's in there. Back room equipment. All right. So, and this is again per team. So you have team individual identification posted at the entrance. So this is usually a poster, and it will have a picture of each member of the team, including the stable manager. It will have the team name, and it will have the club name. And you will also have on the poster your penny numbers. So those 4 things have to be on the poster. So for the extra equipment, let's see, flashlight. So this needs to be hung, it can't be inside the box, it needs to be hung by the door of the tack room, and that's why it has the string and the clip to make it easy. And charged fire extinguisher, so you have to make sure, last year we had to go through and make sure they weren't expired and they had a full charge, and there's a certain type, it has to be an A or an ABC fire extinguisher. And you have to have a notice board, and the riders use this for times of individual events and things like that. And let's see, it can be dry erase. There's a trash container, which probably is with our stable equipment. And then we usually try to use the metal ones with a locking lid on top so it won't spill everywhere in case overnight you don't want to attract animals and such what. Then there's the USPC Handbook Rules for Rallies, Part 1, all the appendices, current and complete. So usually those are notebooks that are put inside the rally kit, and they have all the years current material, and at the beginning of each rally season they usually send out a newsletter that you put in the front part of the binder if the rules haven't changed, and the newsletter must be included with the manual. And then a discipline rule book, so then you're not carrying around dressage rally rules if you're going to show jumping. It's specific just for the rally you're going to. And then it talked about the newsletter being current for that year, and then boat hooks, and these are the hooks to get your long boots on, and this is in order to get your boots off, obviously. And let's see, there's something in here that I think should be here, but I don't actually see it. Extra equipment, lead shank. So in our rally kit, we usually carry a knife too, and we usually hang that by the rally door, and they ask if there's a hole in the bottom of the equipment, like for your hoof picks or for the knife. You attach a piece of string and then label it with the team name and club name on there, just to make sure it gets back to where it's supposed to be. So that is the tack room equipment. Tack cleaning equipment. You'll notice there's a lot of extra string twine in here. So this is to attach your water buckets and your feed buckets. They usually have some sort of eye hook in the stall for your pony, but they don't want it attached directly metal to metal. So it has to have some sort of breakaway system. And some of this, this blue stuff is not actually breakaway. The orange is in there and the twine is. Okay, so tack cleaning equipment is you need cleaner appropriate for tack. So we have our tack oil and conditioner.
I'm going to let him in here to stay warm.
Sure. So this is saddle soap to do the cleaning, and then it says that it needs metal polish, which is here. It needs a tack sponge. You need cleaning cloths. You need a pail, a cleaning hook, which is there. I don't know if you can see that. And then drying basket for sponges. Which is this. Jobby. Dry out your sponges after you clean. And then you need a boot polishing kit, which is supposed to have both brown and black in case some competitors have black boots or whatever. And it's soap for washing hands, which is in here. And the last thing you need is tack oil or conditioner. They said it's optional, so you don't have to have that in there, but it's always good policy to have that in there. And the next thing is the okay. So you need a hammer. You need nails. They would like nails in a bag. They don't want them loose, obviously for safety reasons for the ponies. Screwdriver, pliers, scissors, the jackknife, which was over in the tack room equipment because it's got to be hung by the tack room door, leather punch, duct tape, at least half of a roll, and then you must have 2 pony club pins in addition to the ones that you're wearing. So you're going to put all that stuff back. So after the judge comes through, you want to make sure you put everything back. Fine first aid. So this is per team, and let's start with petroleum jelly is here. Digital thermometer, they will check to make sure that it can turn on, so the batteries are still with it. And liniment, which is here. Isopropyl alcohol, which is here, at least half a bottle. And then it says antibacterial antiseptic scrub, which must, a lot of people like to use betadine, but it must say, instead of just the soap, it's got to say scrub. That's been a holdup for some people. Antimicrobial agents. You can use human versions of Neosporin, just as long as it's labeled horse, like these ones are. And then also it has to be within the expiration date. And then roll of gauze, 1 inch thick at least. No, 2-inch minimum width. 2 flexible stretch adhesive cohesive bandages. So this is your vet wrap. Let's see, 1 pound absorbent cotton. So this is the 1 pound absorbent cotton. Let's see. Then there is bandage scissors. So they have to have the little notch in them on the side there. And then adhesive tape, 1 inch minimum, which is this guy. And then a set of 4 stable wraps with suitable pads to fit all team ponies. So if you have horses on your team and ponies on your team, you got to make sure everything fits everything. So for little ponies, we have a kit that has tiny sizes. And then this is the big boy horse size. So you can see this is tiny size. And then this is, so you got to make sure with everything in the kit that it fits the horses that are going to rally. For Polo Cross, Western, Eventing, and English, there are different requirements. So we're just going to go with the English for right now because that's the one we use the most. And so you have your, it says 2 extra lead shanks. So the shank is the metal part that's attached here. And there's another one in here. Must have 2. And then you have to have 2 halters. So again, this was for a little lady. And then this was for a big dog. So if you came to rally with only this guy, obviously it's not going to fit that one. So make sure your extra tack fits who's going. So you also need an extra pair of stirrup leathers, which is here. And then you also need 2 of the rubber bands and the leather tabs if you have a member with peacock safety stirrups. So you'd have extra ones of those. And in addition to that, you have to have extra stirrups. And you can see that these already have the leather tabs for the peacock stirrups. The other thing that girls this year are doing is the eventing rally. So they would need to have a 5-gallon bucket of water for the vet box after they come off the course to help cool down, and it must be per horse. Specific for English is 2 extra bridles, complete bridles, that means with bit. And we try to pick a bit that we feel would fit everybody. And stirrup leathers and irons, which were in the other box. Oh, hold on, I'm reading the wrong section. And girths. So we had to get 2 different size girths. I'm sure 1 regular size. And that's pretty much it. So the next thing is your personalized grooming kits. So everyone's responsible for their own, and you just have to go through the list. And these are ones that whoever's bringing the horse who's coming with a horse would have to bring. And it's basic things like hoof pick, curry comb, dandy brush, body brush, and they check to make sure that the body brush has softer bristles than the dandy brush, a rub rag, and that needs to be bigger than a washcloth. They want it to be the size of a hand towel. And then scraper, body sponge, and a wash bucket only, and wet wipes or 2 sponges. If you choose to do wet wipes, then you just bring the extra baby wet wipes and you just dispose of them after they wipe. But if you choose to use the sponges, you must label the sponges with dock and face. And then there's just a regular body sponge, scraper, and a wash bucket that must be labeled wash bucket only. Individual equipment, which also would be labeled with your penny number, is the saddle rack, bridle rack, boot trees if you have tall boots. And then if you're at an overnight rally, you would need your feed pre-measured in paper bags with sealed shut with duct tape and labeled per meal as to what's in the food and the name of the competitor, the number, and the horse. The food label can just have the name of the horse and the penny number, but according to a feed chart, you have to list what's inside that bag, which is in the grain room when you go overnight. Then you need feed storage, so it must be a closing locking lid so that you can't go in there. Nothing else can get in there besides who's supposed to go in there. Then there's heavy duty feed tub, whether your horse eats on the floor, one of those flat ones, or eats out of a bucket on a hook. A top off bucket that is left outside of the stall at night for the night guard to come through, the night duty person to come through and top off your water bucket. And then salt block, unless noted that their horse is giving loose salt in their grain. And then also per team, you need a manure fork or shovel, rake or broom, manure basket or wheelbarrow is also required. So after you get done doing all that, your judge will give you a total of what the team earned, and you get points off if you didn't have everything you were supposed to have.